Hello everybody, Rope Fox here, and welcome back to another episode of Truly Bedrock. This is episode 21, and I am currently standing on the 4th level of the Kelp farm. So Prowl went ahead and finished this whole thing, and come to find out, we needed to place in more smokers. So at the end of last episode, we were busy trying to figure out some sort of storage, and Prowl just let me know right before I started recording that the storage is 100% full, and man, that is super crazy. So let's go ahead and take a look. These are all the modules that we have. Now at the moment, Prowl is streaming this little farm right there. Well, I guess it's not a little farm, but let's go ahead and take a look. Earlier today, I added in this new line of smokers. It is not complete, but we needed, like I said, we needed some extra smokers to get going because this thing was getting really backed up. And like I said, Prowl let me know that this thing is, what the heck did he just do? That is very weird. They weren't like that. They were all double chests, if you can remember. What did you do, Prowl? I know he's up there somewhere. Oh, there he is. Yeah, I have no clue what he did. Yeah. Wow. Yes, wow, Prowl. You turned them into single chests. So he went ahead and emptied all of them. And I'm just glad it wasn't me only seeing that. I thought maybe it could have been a visual thing, but that is not the case. So he emptied all of these out and crafted a bunch of kelp blocks. And yeah, we definitely, like I said in the last episode, we have dried kelp blocks for days. We are back at the base, and today's project is going to take place inside the vault. For those of you who didn't catch my redstone video this past Thursday, I took on Xisumavoid's challenge of creating a furnace XP farm, and I was very proud of the way that came out. What I ended up coming up with was a very tall but one wide design. So what I was thinking is we need one of these on the realm, right? Because if you take a look at my tools, both of them are pretty much ready to break, and then my elytra is also pretty banged up from flying in between my base and then the kelp farm. So I definitely need some sort of XP farm because the skeleton farm that I have is just a little too slow. Now the idea is to build these XP furnaces along the back wall, and again they are a one wide design, so we can fit a few of them in here. We are going to give them a 1 block gap, but even still, I think this is 15 wide. Pretty sure. So that gives us a decent amount of furnaces we can place in, but in this case, I am going to use smokers because in that video, I did say it was more beneficial time-wise to use smokers because they do cook things twice as fast as a furnace at the expense of less XP, because I did see that in the comments down below, which I had no idea. But like I said, I have been very busy lately, so if I can do things faster at the expense of a little XP, I'm willing to do that because we are going to have a few smokers running. Now, for the things we're going to cook, we are going to build an automatic kelp farm of our own down below, following the same design that is over there at the big one that Prowl has been building. So for today, what I think we're going to do is build one module, so on both sides. And from there, we can always expand down because we can go all the way down to bedrock if we really, really want to. But I want to see how much this is going to put out as far as kelp, and then that's going to go into a collection system up above. And hopefully everything works out the way I want it to. It sounds easy, but then again, you never know what complications you'll run into. For this little bit, what I think we're going to do is have a nice little time lapse. I'm pretty sure we haven't done one at all this season, at least from what I can remember. But if we have, it has been quite some time. So with that being said, let's go ahead and get started. And welcome back, everybody. I hope you enjoyed that little time lapse. I definitely struggled placing in the water. What I ended up doing, as you may have saw, depending on how fast I speed this up, or that time lapse, depending on how fast I speed that up, I ended up placing soul sand down below initially, and then all I did was grab my bucket of water, place it at the very top, and let it pour down, and everything in between turned into source blocks. Because I tried doing it without the soul sand, this piston would extend, and then it completely got rid of my water source in this middle layer, and yeah, that was very frustrating. But thankfully, everything is all done. We just need to place in our water stream that's going to go down the middle, and you can see this thing in action right here. Now, you may have noticed that I placed these every 3 blocks, but you can see everything is going to fire. All of these are going to grow. We can check this side here. All of these are growing, which is very fast already, and this is just one module. Once one of these grows in front of the observer, that is going to fire every single piston here. Wow, would you look at that? Just take a moment and look at this. Every kelp is 3 blocks high, except for the kelp that is in front of the observer. That is ridiculous. Anyways, like I was saying, and that's like a conspiracy thing right there. I mean, come on, seriously? Every kelp has grown except for the ones... there you go. Yeah, now. But yeah, that was ridiculous. Every single kelp was grown to the max height except for the one that was... I don't know why that piston didn't fire. I'm going to have to look. I'll have to take a look in the back. That definitely should have fired. But what we're going to do is start placing in. This is going to push forward, and we do need our water stream to go this direction. So 3, or what is that, 4? 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, and then that's going to run down this way. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I'm pretty sure I need to actually make this top layer 7 blocks. But let's go ahead and check it out. If I go ahead, I need to grab some water. And let's see if I can actually get out of here. Another struggle I was having was trying to get in and out without knocking my camera account down. So that was fun trying to dig around the camera account. And you can see the little mess that I made trying to get here. I believe the camera account was standing on this block there. But let's go ahead. We're going to place down the water now. And we probably should block this up first. I thought I had more of my nice stone, but I don't. We can do that for now. Water, like I said, I'm pretty sure it needs to go 7. Yeah, it does need to go 7. So we can go ahead and grab Silk Touch. And I believe in 1.12 they made it so we can actually mine the ice faster. Oh yeah, that is so much better. That is way better. When I was originally getting all of the packed ice and blue ice, this was such a pain trying to mine all of this up. Even I had my Haste 2 beacon. I had the Haste 2 beacon, and even my Haste 2 beacon didn't mine it up that fast. So I'm so glad that they fixed that. A little bit of work has been done since that last clip. And, okay, maybe not a little, maybe a lot. What I ended up doing, this is now covered, and I actually added another layer of the kelp farm down below. And from there, I ran it into an item elevator, like that. And that is pretty much what I've been doing all season. Don't really need to show that, just a dropper, comparator, observer, redstone, into a soul sand elevator that is going up temporarily and being stored into the chest. So that is what I've come up with so far. Now what I'm working on is placing in the furnace. Again, I am going with the design that I used in Xisumavoid's challenge from the other week, and I have most of it done for the most part. The real struggle at the moment was trying to figure out where to place it, because I realized for this I still need an input chest, and the input chest I think is going to go right there to fill in this whole module. I have all of these top hoppers running in this direction all the way to the end, so that problem is solved. And again, when I do add the other side, I guess I can just add the input chest over here and follow the same pattern. So it looks like I'll only have space for 2 at the moment, and I think that should be enough until I add more modules. I mean, I think it's going to struggle to kind of fill up the first one in general. So what I'll do is when we get to it, I'll run the hopper line into this one only. So all of the kelp that is coming up here, and I may need to raise this a little bit more, all of this kelp is going to funnel. And yeah, just took some inspiration from the kelp factory over there. I like to watch all of the kelp go up and go into the chest, and then that's going to distribute into this system here. Let's go ahead and take a look at what I have so far. I realized that the video was a showcase, so it wasn't necessarily a tutorial unless you were pausing the video and trying to understand what was going on. This is not going to be as complicated as that, but we are sharing most of the same features, at least for the top portion of it. So what we have here, we have our smoker, we have our hopper, that's going to be the output, so that's going to pull all of the kelp from here. Now, at the moment, what we need to do is run a repeater like this. That is going to turn on, and this is going to lock the hopper. So anything cooking up here is going to stay up here, and that is necessary because we still need items to pull out to collect the XP. Now, while this is running, let's say we have multiple items up here. We have a stack cooking, we have a couple stacks here, or at least one item. This is going to turn on the comparator because it is detecting the item in the hopper. And that is going to extend this piston, moving the redstone block out of the way, turning this off, and unlocking this hopper, meaning all of the items that are currently in there are going to drain down and go into whatever collection system I have. I will probably try to run it into one of these. I think that would be pretty cool, but we won't get to that, and I think that's going to require a bit of iron. So that is what this little bit does. Next, what we have up here is the barrel, and I need to add a button to it. But the cool thing about the barrel is we can pass a redstone signal through it. So if we press the button, that is going to... how do I get back up here? That is going to activate this repeater. And then what we're going to do here, and this is where I stopped, is it's going to extend this sticky piston up, push the redstone block up, and then in this spot, we need to have our dispenser. Dispenser there, that needs to go bye-bye. Plug that up. That's going to activate the dispenser here, and then that's going to dispense an item. Let's go ahead and just throw a stack in there right now. That will dispense an item onto a pressure plate. Did I make one? Right there. Pressure plate here, and that's going to invert this torch. So right now, let's throw, for example, 2 diorite, and the items are going to dispense. Hold that down, and then that is going to release the items into this system, or the chest, the barrel, and then from there it will go down into the smoker, and from here, I know I'm doing a lot of explaining. Ooh, wow, that is about a 3-minute clip. I apologize for that, but then again, I love explaining the redstone. All I need to do is place a double chest up top. The double chest is in place up top, and I already went ahead and emptied some of this out into here, because if I remember off the top of my head, this will allow us to do 11 stacks and roughly 46 items, and that is about 18, so we're good. So what we're going to do is press this, and that's going to release all of the items through here. That is going to drain, and as I mentioned in the video, we have our item sitting there. That is going to sit there for 5 minutes, and for those 5 minutes, that is going to keep this open for all items to go through, again giving us about 11, 11 stacks and 46. What the? Okay, hopefully that, good thing we have a barrel here, and some hoppers to kind of hold on to things. Okay, that is looking good. That is going to run, and I need to go ahead and run that now because this pickaxe, my Silk Touch, is pretty much broken, and I'm kind of scared to use it, and I really need to use it right now for that. So I think I'm going to sacrifice some glass for the sake of saving my pickaxe, because this is a really nice pickaxe. Now what we need to do, like I said, is run this... Whoa! Run this here, and... I really... Okay. We're going to bring this water stream up. This double chest, oh no, this double chest is going to move above those hoppers, and pretty much the same thing is going to happen here. That is going to fill in, and then it's just going to drain this way. And when we have a double chest, we can place another hopper line going this way, and then that will fill up the other furnace. So let me go ahead and do that. Everything is now finished. The XP farm is ready to go, at least one side of it. I still need to build up the other side. I realized because the water stream is right here, I can't have my water stream going across the back to feed this. So what I might end up doing is knocking this out. Or I guess since this is its own little module right here, and I don't have to keep it to a one wide design, I can have another hopper here, and then keep a field chest right there of all my kelp blocks. I think that will be perfect. Yeah, yep, that's what I'll do. And like I said, I moved the water stream up. It is now going into the double chest that I pushed up as well. And then this is going to go into this hopper line and fill up this double chest. And then when we do have that second module, we are going to have a hopper line going this way. So that is going in, and that is filling up the double chest. So everything is completed. Again, at least one side. Whoop. At least one side is completed, and if I really wanted to, let's see where this is at. I could probably run it twice. If we do that, that's going to start draining once again, and I don't think I have enough items, though. That's probably the issue. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Yeah, I definitely don't have enough kelp in there, but that is fine. I'll get what I had initially, plus this thing is most likely going to drain out, or you know, more kelp is going to come down. And the cool thing about this is it can kind of just hold itself in the barrel if these hoppers ever get full, which it looks like it will. So we have a whole barrel where all of this can be stored. And that is about it. I know I've taken a lot of time for this episode. This was a bigger project. It may not look like it, but this was very, very time consuming. And yeah, I really needed this. That way we can collect some XP as I'm working around in the base area, and also up top on the town. This is definitely going to be handy to have. So with that being said, everyone, this is the end of today's episode. I really hope you guys enjoyed it. This has been Rogue Fox, and I will see you later.